dick.
Shit.
If I were to
Dick.
shit dick.
Dick. Shit. Dick.
That
Shit
video's
dick.
gonna get flagged now, you know.
Oh, well.
Inappropriate use of stuff.
Hey, that's kind of cool though. Let's see, Watch Dogs will be coming out for the Wii U.
Yeah, I saw that.
Figured.
Hey, that honestly, that's kind of nice because next to
Tablet-
nothing has been getting announced third party wise for the fucking Wii U lately. So I'll take what I can get.
I'm probably gonna buy a Wii U next month. I think.
Mm.
Anyway, are we recording or what?
Yeah, it's on actually.
Okay.
Everybody's talking about the Wii U. We're trying to get a show together here. What the fuck's going on? Come on, go!
Yeah,
go!
well, you know what? This show was supposed to be about entertainment,
I know, but I wanted you to just get this over.
Fuck entertainment.
Sony's not in that anymore, man. Sony's all about...
No, I'm on about
something.
sharing it on Twitter and Facebook and Reddit.
Facebook.
Oh, this and that and the other. MySpace and fucking on the telephone.
Social networks are really entertaining. Have you not seen people update their statuses with fucking, like, I don't know, random song lyrics to songs that you don't like or give a shit about so that they can seem deep? Don't you want to see that on your game console? Because I sure enough do.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, it's a great thing, really. I mean, your game console is going to help you decide that you don't want to deal with people ever again.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not like I'm a fucking recluse just for fun. You know, I mean, I want a game system that plays games, but apparently all the big companies are like, but you want this shit to be like a waffle maker, right? And you also want it to be able to watch movies, right? And you also want this to be able to go and download like tons of music that you steal on your computer anyway, right? And you know what else I'm thinking? I'm thinking that you want to do a lot of streaming. Do you want to do a lot of streaming? I understand you bought a game library, but you want to stream this shit. Do you want to repurchase that stuff? That sounds fucking awesome. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe my dick fits in your mouth. Yeah, that sounds fucking great.
Oh, yeah.
I-
All right, now you got an even better
Hey,
idea.
the term of
kinda
the day
puts
is
a-
shit dick, everybody. Shit dick.
Shit.
Dick.
Dick.
Shit dick.
Or I got a better idea. Why don't you spend $500 on a machine that you can watch college humor videos on? That's a great fucking
Oh,
idea.
that sounds awesome. So does, I don't know, getting my fucking dick blown off in the middle of, I don't know, watching this entire fucking conference.
Did you watch the conference though? You just come in from work.
Well, I at the very least am being updated throughout the entire thing via my fucking fancy ass phone.
Updated, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, the only thing you could be more prepared with is if you had a blanket and a pillow for this one. It was fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Anyway, can we start this podcast off?
Sure, why not? The Hate Bit Podcast rides again, Season 3. Welcome, folks. I'm Yell Chaos. Joining me as always, Alpha Omega Sin.
The term of the day is shit dick, and if you think it's anything else, fuck you, fuck your mother, fuck your grandmother, because I already did, and now they have STDs.
The guy who fucks your mother, Satan, Magnus.
Yay! Sony have made us fucking want something that we don't want again. Yay!
And the girl that fucks your mother, the MangaMinx.
Hi guys. Yeah, Sony's conference was about as entertaining as nailing my own eye shut, and that was actually marginally less painful as well.
I did nail my eye shut.
Awesome.
Everybody just nailing their eyes shut, I tell you what. Well, we've got a big show for you today. We're going to get right into it, wasting no time at all. The PlayStation 2013 Catastrophe Damage Report. We watched it. Did you? This is the first time we've ever done this in the history of the Hate Bit Podcast. What we did is we all watched the coverage of the PlayStation Conference 2013, and
May I add something? I wish we didn't.
I'm going to go take a nap. Sainted Magnus.
No, I'm not.
Feel
I'm not.
free.
I'm not taking the fucking helm on this one. Jesus Christ. But
for those of you who don't know, the Saint of Magnus and myself, we watched this thing together, if for nothing else than moral support, and this was laughable.
laughable. Fucking hell! I fell asleep.
You did now? Well, you do that anyway. But it's really interesting. Before we really talk about the conference itself, if that's what you want to call it, I think what's very interesting here is while we're doing the podcast right now, I'm actually kind of keeping up with some of the post data, some of the afterward coverage on game trailers, and then there's of course GenGame.net and a few other sites are covering this entire thing. And if I feel like I suddenly understand what it is to watch state-run media in North Korea This is these guys that are telling all sorts of things, if only to convince themselves. So much of this, oh, well, Sony, they brought out the big guns and they really brought, who are you fooling? This was a snooze fest.
If
Am I out of order here?
If you're talking about big guns here, they must have brought out the fucking Super Soaker water pistol, because that's about as much fucking big guns they even brought out for this conference.
If they brought out the big guns, they brought it out in silicone. And I'm sorry, no matter how hard you say it and with what kind of an accent you have, I am not impressed by an 8-core processor.
Fuck's sake, I've got 8 cores just in my hand.
Cores. 8 cores, everyone. It's like 16 bits, but cores instead, and 8 of them. Isn't that exciting?
It's blast processing for the year 2012 and 13 and 14.
Yeah, and apparently they can make a pimple look very realistic.
I don't know, but every time I hear core, I just think of core music, like deathcore, metalcore, and then I think about having my fucking asshole prolapse. And that's exactly what I'm feeling right now. It's like a prolapsed asshole. So how are you all doing?
Left asshole.
Yes, and shit dick, because I'm going to use that term again and again and again.
Well, that pretty much sums up the entire fucking Sony press conference of 2013 so far.
Oh, well,
yeah.
But hey, so far, I mean, everybody seems pretty excited. Like, right now, I'm currently, I shit you not, I just clicked a tab and was like, Facebook. Opened it up, and not on the PlayStation, mind you, on my computer, and and I already see PlayStation memes everywhere. This conference just fucking ended, and it's filling my fucking news feed. The one currently says, yeah, no problem, bro. You can play your PS3 games on your PS4 once you rebuy them on our Gaikai Cloud, or however you fucking pronounce it. Like, I really give a fuck at this fucking point.
Well, isn't that what Sony wanted us to do? They want us to share the information on social networking sites. It's all about sharing. It's all about being one with the PlayStation, and it's all about, just being one with them. And I, for one, I watched the conference and it brought back my eating disorder. That's how good it was.
Well, you see what Sony's doing? Like, they're pushing the envelope, and they're also pushing people into fucking unhealthy life choices. That's what's happening right now. And for
they're pushing people into psychological disease.
Dude, anybody that's listening to this, if you're like, well, I really enjoy, just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up now, because nobody fucking gives a fuck. It really doesn't. I will sweep kick you onto a bear trap, dick first. Shut the fuck up. Okay, the thing is, this entire thing, the rumor mill, okay, was fucking like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months ahead of this entire thing. We've known the entirety of this, with the exception of the fact that these motherfuckers couldn't give us a price point. They couldn't even show what the console looks like. And on top of that, they won't tell us, like, is it confirmed? Will this thing be using discs or not? Or are we just going to be rebuying everything all over again? Kind of like what they did with the PS2 HD collections. And, HD, just bumping up that resolution just a tiny bit, and then crippling most of the other games like Silent Hill. Meanwhile, you could just play the version that's not crippled, but they don't want you to do that, because backwards compatibility, that doesn't give you more money. That's just convenience, folks. Just convenience, and Sony's not about that.
No.
No, apparently Sony's all about making things far more complicated than they have to be.
Well, yes. that was the thing they were on about. Yeah, you can share shit, but it was like, yeah, you could do this with it, you can do that with it, but it's so simple, just at the push of a button. And then they went through a fucking seminar just to explain what that feature fucking does. And that was pretty much the entire fucking conference.
So tedious.
And dude, and they were all about talking about downloading. They're like, yeah, we got this other chip just for downloading, and like you can play a game while it downloads, and like, isn't that amazing? Like, it's downloading separately from everything else, so you can do stuff while it downloads. You mean like everything else in the entire electronic world? I can do stuff while something downloads? I can play something while it downloads? If somebody's got like a beat ass internet connection, like this shit is like droopy fucking pussy lips beat, I'm gonna be able to play kilobytes of games that are fucking freezing.
That sounds so inviting.
That's gonna be awesome.
Oh god.
that's gonna be fucking fantastic. I can't wait to play that. Like in the middle of it starting up, it's like, all right, you see the entire background, and you go to make a big fucking leap, and then it just freezes, and then all of a sudden you see your character like down on the street, 500 feet ahead, ran the fuck over and dead. You're like, wait, no, oh, this isn't fun. Now I'll just wait until it finishes downloading. There you go. That's exactly what people are going to be saying. I'll just wait for it to download. That's cool.
Revolutionary. Revolutionary.
Yeah.
Sony's all about being revolutionary these days. Like, you know how they were with the PS3?
Yeah.
I mean, the PS3 was revolutionary, right? It did really well. I mean, like, we won the console war as far as I'm aware. And then the only sensible thing for a company that's hemorrhaging money out of its anus is to do exactly the same fucking thing all over again, because that's business.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because they were dominant,
They were,
yeah.
Past tense.
Yeah, the same way they were dominant with the fucking Betamax and shit like that.
2002, yeah.
I think the way we can only really look at this from a genuine, interesting perspective, if for nothing else, than to shed some light on maybe a few positive points, we should probably take it from the very beginning. And I think we can start with, this. I'm not going to cast aspersions on it just yet, but this introduction to the video. Before there was, any voices, any words being said, there was music. There was a presentation that involved Crash Bandicoot and, other characters that have appeared throughout Sony's history. The whole thing came to me as sort of a subversive claim, like, hey, remember how good we used to be? Yeah, you should like us for everything we did 10, 15, 16 fucking years ago.
Nearly 20 years ago. It's the 20th year next year.
I know. Isn't that something?
I don't know. 20 years of PlayStation. I thought, for the first 15 it was okay, but for the current 4 years that we've had, it's just been shit.
Well, yeah, and they've had 20 years to get at this, and they haven't gotten any better.
No, they got worse.
They got worse. They as far as I'm concerned, like the PS1, PS2, amazing. Revolutionary consoles, brilliant stuff, deservedly kicked the ass of the competition. They had great variety of content. They were affordable. They were just great consoles all around. And then they just got to the PS3 and were like, yeah, we can charge whatever we like now because, it's Sony. It's a good idea. And then they just decided to sort of cash in on like exactly the same as what Microsoft were doing and just churn out the same sort of games. And there's no variety in what we saw today in the games announced for the PlayStation. I mean, Watch Dogs is the only title on that whole list that looked like it was something vaguely interesting to me. And
that was announced how long ago?
And that's multi-fucking-platform. It's like multi-format as well.
Multi-format.
And by the way, as MangaMinx has been so kind to point out, whenever Sony does get excited, they do get a squeaky voice, if you're wondering.
They do, yeah.
I assure you, they do.
Catastrophe has a voice just like that.
It comes along with it, It's,
That's what happens when your investors have your balls in a vice. Your voice just suddenly skyrockets. It's fucking crazy.
That's what dominated holiday 2013. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you how good I used to be. Ha ha. Ha ha. I'm Mickey Mouse. Hello. And this is Jackass.
For those who saw the conference, it was quite impressive. Don't you love how everyone got so dressed up for this big occasion?
It looked like the casual day.
It did. It looked like anybody who was wearing a jacket, like they made them wear a jacket. You have to need a jacket to come on in here.
I don't think these people were actually Sony employees. I think they just like got a list of sex offenders in the neighborhood and thought, yeah, we'll wheel them out and then put them on stage, and that was it.
Sex offenders is how you throw a party, my friend. You just get them in fucking little suit jackets. You send them on their way. Yeah, you'll have all types of people showing up.
Excuse me.
But
torches.
In all seriousness, though, it was like a fucking row of serial killers. I was waiting for fucking Ted Bundy to come out and stage on stage. They were just the fucking creepiest people they could have picked and it was consistent as well.
It was actually. That was the fucking scariest thing. It was consistent.
Well, that's true, but everyone looked like they hadn't washed, and they're gonna be shot if this doesn't go over well.
You know what it looked like to me? It looked like they've just been abducted from the houses, each one from each of their homes, and then given a suit jacket when they got there, and says, right, you need to read from that auto cue over there. If you do not read that exactly right, we will shoot your puppy.
Is it just me, or did everyone stutter? Like everyone at one point or another
Everyone
in
was
any one of those
nervous.
keynotes had a slight stutter, like you know, one of those moments.
It's because like Kaz was like to the side of the stage with like a gun, and as soon as they were off, he was like shouting in their face with his Mickey Mouse voice and just threatening them.
Okay. Had to be something like that, you know.
I'm sure it must. It definitely was fact.
I'll tell you what
Yeah,
was a shock, though. I'll tell you what was a shock.
What's that?
We didn't have anything from David Cage. You know, he didn't actually show us a new game that he's creating.
No, he came on, he cried for a while, and then he left.
Yeah, but that's pretty much Square Enix as well. They came on and cried for a minute.
Well, yeah, but they did it via, you know, pre-rendered images.
Well, that was pretty much the whole conference was a pre-rendered image.
Yeah, there wasn't much
That's very true.
gameplay.
Now, the thing for me, which I thought was really interesting, and I brought this up to the Saint and Magnus, is how every single time they had to show you footage from anything, there had to be a keynote speech no less than 7 minutes long, in some ways seeming to try and convince you that you shouldn't turn the channel. Like every goddamn piece of software, supposed piece of software that they showed off was kind of like, you know, this is going to change your life. You will be a man once you own this, because this is going to change everything. You see, way back when, and then someone showed a black and white film from like the 1920s, you know, and this is relevant to video games because there's motion, and yeah, and you should continue to watch, and I thank you.
And that was David Cage actually that did that.
that was most David Cage.
So he did have a relevant point to what I said.
But, you know, really, this was like Grown Fest 2013. I think, Saint and Magnus, you and myself, it seems like any time anybody walked onto the stage, it was, oh, this fucking guy.
It was this fucking guy throughout the whole fucking thing. The only thing they missed out from the holy fucking shitstorm that they had there was Hideo Kojima and fucking Kaz Hirai.
Yeah, well, there's that.
And the guy that did fucking Gran Turismo, what was his fucking name? Kazunori Yamamuchi. That's a fucking mouthful. They missed him out as well. Well, they put him in that little trailer video, but they didn't actually have him come on stage and say, yeah, we're making Gran Turismo 6. And it's not going to come out until the end of the console's life cycle. Great.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they did with Gran Turismo games, to be fair. So.
It's just amazing to me. I mean, because we didn't learn a lot about this platform. We got to see the controller, which for some reason apparently has Move integrated into the controller itself. We didn't hear a price point. We didn't hear a specific release date, but they said holiday, which means, you know, late October, early November. And we didn't see what it looks like. The only thing we do know for certain is that this box is going to spare no expense and no features to spy on you at any given time all day long. It seems...
You missed one thing they've mentioned, actually.
What's that?
The camera box that goes with it. It looks like a very small version of the Kinect.
Oh, God.
It does. It's like a little small chocolate bar that sits under your TV. With two cameras in it. And spies on you.
And takes pictures of you and blackmails you and just watches and buys your time. And then when you have your friend over they bring a used game, it sends a little message back to Sony headquarters. And they send out a drone strike.
They send out the rape train.
Yeah, they send out a drone strike, but unfortunately, since it's Sony, they could only afford to pack it with confetti.
That's like in the budget cuts for the year to try and make up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we can afford the drone and the module that powers the drone. However, explosives are out of the question.
Oh.
We should send them some stale salad dressing.
That's pretty much how interesting the conference was. You know, we're gonna keep pointing this out because it was absolute shit dicks.
Absolutely, you know, and it's fascinating how they, you know, because I was under the impression. Now, I watch these things with some consistency. I think we all do. It's part of our jobs, and I was under the impression this was going to be about 45 minutes long. You know, just to kind of come out, say what they're going to say, and that was it. And this was 2 hours and 15 minutes of just painstaking waiting for, huh?
It was an endurance run. It was like
it was like, you know, because I I made a very valiant attempt to keep the Sainted Magnus watching with me because he said, I want to turn this off. I'm like, I know I want to turn this off too, but we got to see this through to the end. And there was no payoff. There was nothing. And so they made it over 2 hours long, and there was maybe, what? Sainted Magnus, would you say about 25 minutes worth of content in 2 hours and 15?
Yeah, because the rest of it was all old men droning on like fucking sewer drains.
And they all kept saying the same thing about how they're going to change everything and they're going to do this and it's going to be a part of your life and you're going to love it and it's going to caress you and hold you gently in those moments when you feel faint. It's going to do all these things. However, here's a game, and it looks like a game that's probably could have been out for a couple of years and probably would function just fine on the PlayStation 3.
But that was the thing. All the games did look like they could work on the PlayStation 3. Killzone, Shadowfall. That looked like it could work on the PlayStation 3. The infamous sequel, fucking Second Son, that looked like it could play on the PlayStation 3. With
the Watch Dogs teaser
problem.
Absolutely could have played on the PlayStation 3. No question about it.
Isn't it coming out on the PlayStation 3 as well?
Yeah.
Is it supposed to?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is, yeah.
Will it? Will it? This is the $64 question. Will it?
It'll be a lost PlayStation 3 title.
Oh, most likely. How many lost PlayStation 3 titles
there's quite
have we had?
a few of them. There's that one with the gigantic dog thing. Yeah.
Well, here's one thing. Like, out of everything, what exactly were you guys impressed with or even liked? That's something that we should try to do. Is like, just
I will admit I did like Club Drive, but that's because I like my racing games. So that was the only. I didn't like the whole fact that they stole the whole Connect thing from Forza Motorsport, where you could walk around your car and open doors and open this and open that and hope for the best. No, I actually like I like my simulation racing games.
You walk around an invisible car, so you pretend there's a car. Is this how it works? Like there's an invisible car in your lounge and you're walking around.
That's how they want it to work.
Wait. Before we go much further, for some people, hopefully it wasn't just me, the stream was a bit choppy and I got lost in a few parts there. So, wait, is that what they were trying to show off? That you get to walk around and pretend you're looking at a car?
Yeah. Pretty much what Forza Motorsport 4 did 2 years ago.
Well, and people pay money for this?
Yes.
Oh, go on.
But unfortunately for us, at least we don't have to go out and buy a separate peripheral for a console that we've already paid for. So that's one good thing that Sony have done.
They're innovating, guys. They're innovating.
Yeah, they're packing everything into one box for you, so you don't have to go out and spend more money.
Yeah, why do you need a phone or a TV or a car? If you've got an invisible car in your lounge, why would you need a real one?
I think
that's what Sony trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. So, Chaos, was there anything that you did marginally fucking spark your interest? Is there something there?
Well, we'd have to talk about positive points. The only positive point I can see is they haven't released the price yet.
Yeah, but that's.
I think that's the only thing that saved them, because if they had dropped the price, they might have sealed their fate.
Well, it's rumored for what, $429 or something like that. But it's
something like that. But
that's dollars, by the way, folks.
The rumor mill's been pretty solid so far, isn't that right, Alpha Omega Sin?
Indeed, that's the thing that I was kind of caught off guard by. I was just like, damn. So your entire conference that we've known about for months now. Well, isn't that something?
I mean, isn't that funny how just like the rumor mill had it together before any of the quote-unquote legitimate gaming journalists?
Yeah. Well, it's also interesting because, whenever I saw the pictures for the controller next to the PlayStation 4 development kits, everybody got to see these online. When you looked at it, it just looked like a real basic mock-up. And no, that was the final controller. So the final controller was actually released weeks before Sony even got to unveil it, and nobody was really impressed because all the features that they're packing into it are just weird. Like you can share the ability for somebody else to control your game like remotely, so they can get through a portion of a game for you. Which I was like, that's fucking stupid and pointless, and I can only see that being bad at some point.
I'm just
somebody inadvertently taking over your game, or you accidentally taking over their game, and then people just flipping their shit, like tossing biscuits everywhere. Don't know why, but when you're upset, shit goes down. And
well, the tossing biscuits things happens over here, so yeah.
Oh well, see, look, okay, over yonder, for Miss MangaMinx and fucking saying it, that's going to apply here. If I'm tossing biscuits everywhere, somebody's just like clean it up. I'm like, oh well, I thought it was clever. Fuck you. But and then they had like
You're an innovator, Alpha,
they had the share button. They have a share button, which I don't want to share anything anymore. Look, the fact is, I just want a button to be able to jump and to shoot and to access a menu and to do all sorts of other fangled things, because I don't want a keyboard and mouse setup on my console. So I want buttons that do things. I don't need a button to do fucking retarded bullshit like share stuff. Just stop that. I already have the home button.
I need to like, this is a fundamental question I feel that needs to be asked. Why do the modern day console companies feel the need to try and make us be sociable? I am a fucking antisocial bitch. I don't want someone fucking connecting with me on Facebook while I'm fucking playing a game. I don't want somebody sharing their fucking footage of them, I don't know, jumping up and down, running upside of a building in Prototype 7 or some shit. I don't give a fuck about anyone else's gameplay footage. I don't give a fuck about anyone else's fucking progress through a game. I don't want to share anything with anyone else. I just want to play the fucking game, and that's it.
Well, it's something I've said on this program a number of times. If you play video games, chances are you don't have any friends.
Yeah.
You get to have one of the other.
By the way, guys, if you want to watch me play video games, you can subscribe to my
Shameless plug.
Yes, go to MangaMinx's channel. If you don't, that's how you get stabbed.
Go to the Sainty Magnus channel and watch me drone on about shit. No,
but I get that. My point though is, I guess it's weird that I share myself playing video games. But I don't want to see anyone else fucking play video games.
It's only interesting when she does it. You fucking fools.
Yeah, fucking Sony needs to have a MangaMinx button on the. Then it'd be all sorted.
There we go.
Yeah.
They need a they need a Hitbit Podcast Facebook button as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I shouldn't neglect to mention that this week's 8-Bit Podcast is brought to you by Alpha Omega Sin. So check Alpha Omega Sin out on YouTube. This product placement paid for by Alpha Omega Sin.
It really wasn't. I just have a gun.
Of course, you also wouldn't know about the 8-Bit Podcast unless you're a regular viewer of the Yell Chaos program as well, isn't that right, Yell Chaos?
No one watches the Yell Chaos program.
I do.
He barely makes anything for it.
Because you're mad.
He barely makes anything for it.
There's at least a couple people not only watch the Yell Chaos channel, but touch themselves while they do it. I won't name names.
At least one I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name's
there are some creepy fuckers out there that watch and listen to us.
It is for that particular gentleman that I shave.
Yeah. He likes it when you shave.
Oh. But was there anything good? There had to be. I mean,
I have to say I can't deny I don't mind the controller. It doesn't look that as bad as what I was thinking it was going to be.
Not too bad.
But that's not a defense.
Yeah, but it's better than fucking moaning about it. I know I'm British and we're kings of moaning, but Jesus Christ, at least...
Okay, here, how about this? The controller, I'm glad that they didn't completely, get rid of the DualShock design. They're just kind of expanding on it. It looks like it could be comfortable. I'm mostly interested in the analog sticks. I want to know if they, if they're good. Because anytime that I see... the indentations on them, it reminds me of the very, very, very first generation DualShock control. Not the DualShock, but the dual analog stick PlayStation controller, because that's how theirs was.
So basically, what you're saying is that you're hoping that the PlayStation DualShock 4 is going to be a best of album for PlayStation controllers.
Yeah, I'm hoping. It looks like it's bigger, which is definitely a good thing, because I know one problem a lot of people have with the PlayStation controller, besides the analog stick placement, is the fact that the controller seems kind of small to them by comparison to something like the 360 controller, and this one looks a little bit beefier. Not too gigantic, where somebody with small hands would be like, fuck, I can't actually use this, like the Duke controller on Xbox. But yeah. Oh, and also they're using the D-pad from the Vita, and I'm happy about that, because say what you will about the Vita, it has a fantastic D-pad. It's fucking awesome. It's very, 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 very good, and that makes me happy.
It's okay.
So
I don't know. I think it's fucking awesome for if you're doing anything with like fucking fighting games, it's like squishy and smooth and just works real well.
So just to recap then, our main positive thoughts of the entire conference is they probably, maybe, possibly haven't fucked up the controller.
Yes.
The architecture. Here, how about that? Let's talk about the fucking specs of it. You know, the x86 CPU and 8 GB onboard memory and local hard drive. What's everybody's thoughts on this?
Yeah,
it has a hard drive. At least they fucking made sure it's not all cloud saving. So that's a plus point.
I mean, my PC has 16 gig of RAM now, and I don't know. I expected a bit more oomph, perhaps, behind it.
Well, they did say it was GDDR5 for some reason. I don't know why they're using graphic card memory for fucking system memory.
Okay. I'm confused now.
Well,
but still, looking with the look to the games, I suspect it's probably not going to be a huge jump technologically. It may have more features in terms of all the streaming and shit like that and all that kind of thing, which is obviously what they're going for. But I don't think it has. I mean, obviously, it's going to be more powerful than PlayStation 3, but I don't think it will be the jump from the PS2 to the PS3 at all. I know we all expected this, but it seems to be lacking a bit of oomph, in my opinion.
It's been like
that's an issue that a lot of people are taking with this next generation, is that the technological leap is not going to be as obvious like it has been from PS1 to PS2 and from PS2 to PS3. And even jumping to PS3 wasn't as obvious at first. And just like, you know, with the stuff that they were showcasing, it really just looks like what you see right now. And that's really
I think that's what it is, though. It's they're trying to actually make this transition to the new from the old generation to the new generation as smooth as possible. So obviously the games are going to look like they do now. I think it's
that's a crock of shit right there. You want to know what they need to do is they need to fucking show something that blows our fucking minds, and it's like, wow, that is a step in the next generation. Holy fuck, I could never get that experience right now. If you're showing the same exact thing that you get currently on a next-gen platform, then why the fuck would we bother going investing if we already have that experience currently? It wouldn't make any sense.
I never thought I'd say this, but I feel that the key to this next gen, if graphics really aren't going to be much of a leap, is going to be like different ways of playing and things like that. And as much as I hated the fucking motion controls on the Wii, you know, the original Wii, maybe I'm not saying motion controls are the way forward, but just different ways of playing, different ways of the console just working in the way we receive our content and that kind of thing. I think that's probably going to be what actually decides which console wins in the end and that kind of shit. And I find that quite depressing that I'm saying that, but I think it's probably down to that in the end.
And that's coming from a PC gamer primarily. There you go. Chaos, do your job.
Well, who do you think you are, motherfucker?
Your boss.
Well, there is. Well, you know what? One thing I did want to touch on was a Quantum Dream. They showed off the fucking new PS4 engine and stuff like that, and it did look impressive, but it doesn't look like anything is really showcasing that right now. Because I mean, most tech demos and stuff like that, they're like, look what it's capable of, but until you actually see it in motion being utilized to its fullest potential, all it is just numbers and fancy words on the fucking on paper. That's really about it. Look at me going with the fucking sweet and sour approach. What a dick.
Yeah, he
I know. I love how do you do that? How do you do a good cop, bad cop all by yourself?
Well, multiple personality disorder definitely comes into play.
Oh, all right. Well, you know, at least you're. Anyway, moving on. You know, if you want to talk about favorite moments from the conference, I think my favorite moment was when some dick with bad hair said, introduce Killzone, Shadowfall. And he said it as though he was expecting a big pop in applause. You know, Killzone! No one gives a fuck about Killzone.
It's not been relevant. It's not been relevant since what, 2005.
I figured the sales figures would have been a dead giveaway on that, and then you know what happened? Nothing. No one said anything. Everyone was just like, oh.
Well, that was expected because they did it with the PlayStation 3 launch, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's like, I think I'm gonna check my email.
I did.
And then they did, so that had to be one. And then there was a lot of that, though. And it seems like toward the end, most of the applause was pity applause.
Most of the applause was probably just like Kaz like clapping into a microphone to amplify it by the side.
No shit, yeah. Just clapping along is like, he's going to kill us if we're not at least somewhat attentive. He knows people. I think he was in the Yakuza. Things like that. And it was really not how a conference of this caliber should have been done. And it was just entirely too long. I want to say nice things, but I can't really.
Here, how about this? Here, we can say something really cool, something I wanted, and we talked about this before the podcast had started. It's really awesome because we are finally going to see Diablo 3 on consoles. And this news, I mean, I was so fucking excited. If you would have asked me before Diablo 3 fucking came out. But hey, we're finally getting on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. That experience that made me want to go back to Diablo 2, I'll finally get at home, and I'll never get to fucking see because I don't give a fuck. There you go.
It's like, to be fair, they're gonna get sales from people who've never played Diablo 3, and that's it.
Yeah,
sure, but it's gonna be, hey, that game that no one gave a shit about? Well, it's coming to PlayStation 4. You'll like it.
Oh, hey, a lot of people gave a shit until they played it, and they're just like, wow, I think I'm going to go play Torchlight 2, the real Diablo 3. Or actually, no, that would have been Torchlight 1, technically. So, yep, there's that.
Here's something that's interesting to me. Has there been any speculation on there possibly being a boost in the price on the next-gen software?
If they fucking boost it up beyond $60, they can kiss their sweet asses goodbye because nobody will be purchasing the shit in the way that they want.
Yeah, it seems that there's a lot of backs against the wall in this one, for better or for worse.
Honestly, the thing is, I understand that. I mean, any naysayers, the one thing that you can go and pull out from your fucking magic hat is this, and there's a lot of noise in my background, so I apologize. Anyway, the one thing that naysayers can go and say is, well, there's still E3. This is just kind of like an introductory, presentation and whatnot. And that's all fine and good. But the main core elements of this, what everybody was looking for, were never addressed. We didn't get to see the console. We didn't get to see price point. We don't know if this thing has a fucking Blu-ray drive. We don't know if it's actually backwards compatible with last-gen software. We don't have an absolute confirmed release date. We have a roundabout, it'll probably be anywhere from October to November. No, I cannot imagine it launching in December because that's pretty damn late, but still anything is possible. But all the things that we really want, we didn't get, and all the things that were in the rumor mill, we already got. So, yep.
It was a non-event, sadly.
Very, very much so, and it's. I think it's left more people with head scratching. I mean, it is obviously getting the channels full of crap. I think that's definitely what's happening here. But aside from that, this is maybe just sort of maybe fanning the flames a bit, just
shameless plug.
The fanning of the embers, even to maybe stir a new flame. And
I just fucking thought about something, and this was
no kidding.
Did it hurt?
Okay, remember Remote Play, everybody? That thing with the Vita and the PS3 that was the main selling point of the Vita for a long time, that they only had one game that supported it, and it was that one fucking baseball game? Well, they're fucking going and trying to tote that feature again, but they're going to do it through... it's going to be like through the whole streaming bullshit of that Gaikai. How the fuck do you say that?
Gaikai.
Is it Gaikai?
Gaikai.
Is that it?
Gaikai of...
Gaikai. All right, Gaikai.
Streaming bullshit, we'll just say.
Basically, the Vita might be useful, again, since it doesn't have a fucking library yet. But through Gaikai, it'll be able to go and stream PlayStation 4 games and possibly start streaming the PS3 games, whatever games that they'll have available.
I think that's a possibility. I think that they were mentioning at the start of the conference, they had like people like going waving their Vitas around in like their living rooms and stuff, and obviously doing something related to the PS4 with it. Not quite sure what, but it probably is that, I would say.
So you
stuff
mean to tell me?
Box.
You mean to tell me there's a whole sect of consumers that got fucked over in this, catch-22 of the PlayStation 3 sold the Vita, and now that same Vita is going to sell the PlayStation 4?
Yep.
Oh.
That's a economical road to nowhere.
Someone's going to own all three of those things, and
I think it's kind of ironic that they took the entire presentation. They focused on the PlayStation 4, which makes a ton of sense. But I really would like to have seen them try to do something to just make people want to buy a Vita. Anything. I mean, they have this.
They did.
This handheld is like
they did. They say we got Vitas. We sell the Vita. You can buy the Vita, and it'll do this with the PS3, PS4, PS whatever fucking else we can think of. Buy the Vita. That's pretty much what they were doing.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah, they need to do a lot more with that. Like, I don't know, price it competitively against the 3DS, which is fucking, like, it's stomping a hole through its chest cavity and wearing it as a fucking knee brace. Okay, the fucking Vita it's not even a fucking contender. The regular PSP is a fucking contender still by comparison to the Vita. And this isn't, oh, Alpha, you're just being mean and taking a shit on the Vita. No, I actually wanted to get a Vita, but there's no reason for me to get a Vita. All right, it's fancy hardware, but that's really about it. Unless people are making games for it, nobody can make games for it because nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying it because it's too fucking expensive.
How much does it cost
there
in
you
the
go.
US? How much does the Vita cost in the US at the moment?
$249 American dollars.
Okay, so they just cut the price in Japan to the equivalent of $213 apparently, like last week.
Well,
one thing we've glanced over. To 200 if they do it here.
Something like that, yeah. One thing we've glanced over is, and we talked about it for just a second, about the earliest part of the conference was buy a Vita. Hey, you should buy a PlayStation Vita. And at the same time, you could say why, and they'd say, we don't know, just buy one.
Well, that was pretty much it, though.
There's no reason to really buy one at all.
Because the whole thing to sell the Vita is they're going to have to prove it to be something other than high-end technology, and all that did was say, hey, it's high-end technology.
Yeah, it's all well and good saying it's high-end technology, but if there's nothing for you to use that high-end technology with, then nobody's going to buy it.
Yeah, I really wish they would do something with this goddamn thing already.
It's surreal, really, that they haven't done anything. It's like they're just constantly following the same patterns again and again and again and again, and expecting something to change in their fortunes when it isn't going to. I mean, the Vita obviously is more powerful than the 3DS, but the fact is the 3DS still has a fairly limited library in itself, has a shit ton more than the fucking Vita has.
Well, absolutely. The Nintendo DS is beating the pissin' shit out of the PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, the Game Boy's beating the shit out.
The weekly sales on the Nintendo DS are beating the shit out of the fucking PlayStation Vita. Mm-hmm. It's saddening. It really is.
Oh, hey, and don't forget, the one dude from Square Enix, he showed up and he was like, hey guys, what's up? Just want to say, we'll announce something at E3. See ya.
Bye!
And that was pretty cool because, I love when people show up to a conference to say, hey, we'll see you at another conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know you traveled thousands of miles to get here, but fuck y'all. See you in June.
Yeah, thousands of miles for 30 seconds of dialogue. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like you couldn't have even dropped a hint of something. You couldn't have I don't know, just a reach around maybe? Nothing? You're just you not even a fucking handshake. You just a nod.
Well,
that was it, a motherfucking nod.
He does have something to do with Final Fantasy, though, so we could end up with Final Fantasy 15 or maybe Final Fantasy 13, 25 million.
Or maybe they're just going to be like, hey, Final Fantasy 14 is going to be put online again, and we hope that it does well this time, even though we ought to just stick with 11, because, yep, there you go. Or maybe they'll announce Final Fantasy 13, 4, and 5, and 6.
Well, that's a good idea. I think they might just be fucking with us, and they're going to do Dragon Quest 11, and it's going to be super realistic graphics this time around, and they'll just betray the series completely.
That would be disgusting.
I would I would kill Akira Toriyama for putting his name to something like that.
I have a feeling the slimes would look like blue shit.
They would. Oh, the slimes are just the best bit of Dragon Quest, and they're gonna ruin it all. Fact.
Oh no,
but
now. Here, look at it like this. That's the Enix portion of Square Enix, who does a pretty good job of not fucking up, whereas the Squaresoft end of Square Enix, they're all over the fucking place, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
We don't know what to do.
Squaresoft kind of strikes me as like, hey, okay, I got this idea. Could we, like, ruin everything at one press conference? Because that would be great.
Or how about this? Let's go to a press conference and not do anything. What do you think of that?
Yeah, let's spend thousands of dollars. Let's spend thousands of dollars to fly people somewhere to walk out on stage and say, "Yeah, later." Fooled you.
I thought that shit was so silly. I'm like, why did you? I'd rather you just not show up, because all you did was waste everybody's time. Like, I'm sure everybody in attendance was like, oh, here he comes. Oh, what are they going to announce? Something really cool. Maybe another tech demo for a remade Final Fantasy VII to get all of our fucking wieners worked? Wait, oh, nothing. Wow. Okay. That was,
they could have attended this conference via Skype.
Dude, it was like an old guy, like, getting lost, and he comes out and he's just like, where am I? This is not my house. Sir, you're in the grocery store. This is not a home. Do you want us to call your family? Billy, we don't know. That's not my medication. No, sir, out of the grocery store. And it's just a motherfucker on stage working for Square Enix, confused and befuddled to all shit and back.
Oh, God.
So
to wash the taste of this fucking conference out, you know, we got something cheerful we can talk about. Because I'm getting depressed by the minute. I'm getting depressed by the minute now. I'm going to cut my.
Are you getting depressed? Well, what do you think could turn it around, Sainted Magnus? You're the big I haven't picked on you for this, but you were flip-flopping back and forth all about this thing right before we got on air. You tell me, what could undo this? What could make this right for you? You tell me.
You need something cheerier. You need something cheerier than the press conference, like Holocaust jokes or something, you know?
Yeah.
Or like,
maybe Jew. Talk about spot. Put me on this spot. Let's see. What could clean up the taste?
You had to have your heart set on something. What was it?
I was hoping that there was going to be, I don't know, an original IP for the next generation. Now, they gave us Crank or Kanak or Knack or whatever the fucking thing was. It doesn't tickle the sensitive parts. I want something original. I want something that doesn't look like Crash Bandicoot or something that doesn't look like Killzone. I want something that will just be original.
You want to know what they really needed at this press conference? They needed Tourette's guy. Like, if you've ever seen Tourette's guy on YouTube, that's what they needed. They needed him to come out in his fucking Tony the Tiger shirt and just flip his shit and just men's asses. I would have fucking loved a press conference then. Like, if he had came out and said all this shit. Like, eat my short dick. And I'm like, Dad, there's white stuff on the floor. That's my ass. Oh, that's a PlayStation 4. And then, like, a bunch of people do a dance. But, and despite the fact that my fellow podcasters either do not know what the fuck I'm talking about, is irrelevant. Somebody will get this, and it'll make me happy.
They should have gone for Tourette's guy, and then that way Kaz wouldn't have had to kill loads of people afterwards either.
Exactly. At least a few people are dead right now. A few people that we saw today at the conference are dead.
Oh, well, I assume a couple people are dead from people trampling right out of the fucking attendance halls. Like, I'm bored.
In fact, I'm pretty sure some people went to sleep and then died in their sleep.
There was tons of people trying to go take a smoke break simultaneously, and then there was other people trying to take another kind of herbal remedy smoke break who were also trampling their way out of there. And then ones who just said, fuck it, I gave up on life and I'll just remain here and listen.
Well, that's pretty much what me and Chaos were doing, and we didn't get paid for doing it.
No, kidding, right?
And look, you want to know what? Here, I will say the nicest thing possible that I can about this entire press conference to everybody who's just like, stop being so mean and beating that dead horse. Look, I will strap explosives to this fucking horse if I feel like it. Suck my jolly member. Look, the best thing I can say about this is, well, Fuck it. Look, the fact is we already knew about all this stuff, so what the fuck do you expect us to say? We're not all that impressed right now, so I'm gonna wait until E3. That's gonna be the most positive thing you're gonna hear from me. I'll wait till E3 for them to give us more detailed information, and I'm going to just hold in my rage and disappointment and just wait until then. So yeah, there you go. That's a positive for me.
Then you can hold your rage and disappointment for Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah.
And let it expel right from my asshole all over the place.
Well, let's just put it this way. I'm known for being the Sony fanboy of the podcast, and yeah, I did say I would actually end up buying one. Whether I buy one on release or not is another question. But like Chaos asked me before, it's whether there's something that will tickle the proverbials. There we go. So, can we move on and do something a little bit more serious?
Keep your proverbials in private, all right?
I think the only word that sums up the entire conference, bottom line, is shit dick.
Yes!
Shit dick.
Shit dick. You know, just shit dick?
Shit dick.
Shit dick.
Shit dick.
And this is a fun game. You can play at home. Make sure when kids, as soon as you get home from school, see your mom, say, hey, shit dick.
It's going to be the next Twister.
You'll get going.
You can say it in a way where it's kind of like that's her name, or just like, hey buddy, instead of hey buddy, it's like, oh hey there, shit dick, or look, hey, a shit dick, and just point to a random person that you feel more than likely, judging from their faggoty ass haircut that they have because they're a scene kid, is obviously a shit dick. So there you are.
Yeah. You know what? And this is the new thing. It's going to spread across the country, across the world like wildfire. This is going to be like Pokemon meets Hulkamania. It's going to be huge. So
that sounds fucking awesome.
I know. Well, anyway,
you tickled my nostalgia region. It felt
see,
nice.
I'm glad I did, and
in a sexy way too.
In a sexy way, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, since there was all that disappointment, we had that talk. It's time we gotta shake it out. We gotta do some halftime right now, and not a lot going on in the mailbox, which I don't understand. So you people are obviously not dropping us any lines, and I want to know what the fuck's wrong with you. So let us know what's on your mind. You can hit us up at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. You can also contact us on the Facebook.com/hatebitpodcast. And you can also find either myself or Alpha Omega Sin on the Miiverse. Just go and look. You'll find us. We're not that hard to find. And drop us a line. Questions, comments, concerns, correspondence of any kind. But anyway, we're going to take a little time right now in the middle of halftime. We haven't done a video game circle jerk in a little while. And since we have a lady, that makes it classy. So, yeah. So I'm going to start the circle jerk right now. Saint Magnus, what do you want?
I was going to say, shall we rename it the video game Bukkake?
Well, you want to know what? No, fair. I think that is sexist right there. I'll say this. I think MangaMinx is more than capable of jerking off on a bitch.
Yeah. There we go.
So, MangaMinx, do you want to go and fucking just shoot your fucking your oozy love all over something?
All the time. It's a constant issue. Yeah.
Yeah, see, there you go. Her house right now is a fucking mess. The fucking Merry Maids, they won't even go near there anymore. I keep trying to coax them into going, but they're just like,
I'm having issues I'm having issues staying on my fucking chair. It's like
well, we're
classy folks here, and we only have classy folks on our show.
Exactly.
So, the plot got messy really quick, didn't it?
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's the only way.
I don't even know how to feel about this. Alpha Omega Sin, what have you been playing? Because I'm just dumbfounded right now.
I've been playing a shit ton of Nintendo 64. Shit tons upon shit tons of Nintendo 64. I've come to the conclusion that it's probably one of the funnest systems for racing games. Completely serious. It really is, because that's all I found myself playing for like 2 days straight.
Provided you have a joystick that works.
Well, I was doing it via an emulator because I didn't feel like hooking up my Nintendo 64.
Alpha Omega Sin uses emulators. No.
I look at it like this. I don't own Sin and Punishment, which is the main reason why I want to play Nintendo 64 at the moment, and I don't have it downloaded on the Wii or anything, so I was like, fuck it. I'll go and emulate it. And then I was like, well, the hell with it. I'll go and download some other stuff that I don't physically own. And then my girlfriend was down for the weekend, so we just started playing all this stuff. We were playing Hydro Thunder, which is a lot of fun, especially if you played on arcade, but it's really good on the 64. I was playing Wave Race, which was one of my very first Nintendo 64 games.
I love that.
And I realized that I have not lost a fucking step in that game, and I still own the shit out of it, even on expert mode. Let's see, what else was I playing? I played Mario Kart for a little bit. Oddly enough, I didn't play Diddy Kong Racing, not even once, which is kind of strange. Now I think about it in retrospect. But let's see, I was playing Conker's Bad Fur Day, but I was playing a legit copy of that because I really wanted to. I eventually need to get a hold of the Xbox version because I've never ever owned a copy of it, and I would like to see it in all of its high def glory. Unless I get an HD ROM pack for it, then it's pretty much the same exact thing. What other games was I playing? I was having a good old romping time with. Damn. Oh, I went back through and started playing a little bit of Shadows of the Empire and realized I suck really bad at the game now. So I'm gonna have to like dedicate myself to it, because when I was little, I played through the game. I rented it, played it, beat the living shit out of it. This time around, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And it's like, oh, come on, you could do this.
There's some tough parts in that game, like the assassin droid fight and shit like that. It's pretty tough.
Just everything. Like I was missing jumps left and right and falling to my death. I was just like, oh no, that's aw. It was depressing. I did create an F-Zero fan out of my girlfriend, which made me really happy. Like she always thought it was really amusing to watch, but she never really played it a whole lot. And I sat the controller in her hand, and she just played the shit out of it. It instantly became one of her favorite games. She already liked the soundtrack a lot, so yeah, that pretty much did it. And I played GoldenEye naturally, because GoldenEye's where it's at, except for nobody in the house could beat me in GoldenEye, so it wasn't all that fun because everybody just quit immediately because they got killed a lot and they didn't know what they were doing. So yeah, lots of Nintendo. No, I never played that. I end up playing like with remote mines to be an asshole because it's funny. And if I'm playing Perfect Dark, I run around with a laptop gun. Fuck everything else, the laptop gun. That is the best weapon in the entire world, because I'll let you chase me, I'll run through a doorway, throw the laptop gun, you start getting shot, then I just aim for your face a lot. It's good stuff. And I'm the master of strafing.
Amazing games.
Oh, dude, the 64 is just a fun-ass system. It really is. It just, I don't know, I hadn't played it in a while, so I was like, yeah, I'll just give this a go through, and it was just a lot of fun. And in getting somebody who didn't have a Nintendo 64, you know, into like the titles that you grew up with is just really fucking awesome. And especially when they're like addicted to them. They're like, oh, I have to go get the system now so I can have my own and blah blah blah. So yeah, it was good feeling. Good stuff in nether regions.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So who wants to be next? Who wants to be next in a circle jerk?
Ooh, fancy. Well, since no one's gonna grab it, I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. I'm gonna grab right onto this motherfucker. No, for myself, it's been a lot of Nintendo 3DS lately. Lots and lots and lots. And I have to say this, people have been asking me, they've been, you know, all over the Facebook and in email and so on. They say, what do I think? And I have to tell you, Fire Emblem Awakening is fantastic. Good. I absolutely adore this game, and I've never really been, you know, I'm familiar with other Fire Emblem games, but I've always kind of walked in on someone playing them and watched for a while and play for a minute, you know, that sort of thing. Never started one all the way from the beginning, and, you know, I've always wanted to go back and play them on the Famicom, but I don't fucking read Japanese, so that's just plain not happening.
Well, I think they have fan-translated ROMs online you could download.
I understand that, and I've been meaning to get around to that, but thank you for spoiling my story, Dick. But Fire Emblem
Awakening suck.
Let the man talk, goddammit.
Fire Emblem Awakening, fantastic game. Also on my Nintendo 3DS, I've been playing Crosswords Plus, which got on sale during the President's Day sale. I didn't know we still had that in this country. Over at Best Buy, it was $14.99, and a really neat game. As you might imagine, it's a whole bunch of crossword puzzles, but it also has word of the day features and all kinds of neato stuff. It doesn't sound like a lot of hardcore fun, but you know what? Fuck you, I enjoy it, and it's good stuff. Also got Brain Age concentration training.
It's not working.
And that one, it hurts me. that game is fucking brutal. A lot of people are bad. Did you just now?
Yeah, just got what she said.
Yeah, I know. It takes you a while, doesn't it? Smoke coming from your ears there was. Anyway, having a great time with those titles. You smart ass. What have you been playing, Mr. Sainted Magnus?
Oh, right. It's been a replay time recently. Well, the only new game I've been playing recently, which is Halo 4, and I have to say it is fast becoming one of my favourite games on the Xbox 360. Another game I've been replaying, actually, is Metro 2033.
Oh, that's a good game.
It's arguably one of my favourite first-person shooters ever. You know, without equal. On the Wii, I've been tackling it fucking Revenge of King Piccolo, a Dragon Ball game, which is actually pretty challenging for a 2D, well, 2.5D type fighting game. Also, on the PlayStation 3, another Dragon Ball game, Dragon Ball Raging Blast. I've been trying to unlock all the characters and shit on that. On the portable side of things, I've been playing games on my mobile, actually. I've been playing one that's been quite addictive, and it's called Hill Climb Racing. And basically, you go around and you get a car, and you're trying to drive up a hill, and the terrain changes, and you have to upgrade your car to get up over the higher and tougher hill. So, pretty much got the casual thing down there. So, I'm passing the torch on to the only person that's not said anything, and that's Miss MangaMinx. Go for it.
I have been playing a lot of 3DS as well this week, or well, not necessarily 3DS, but I've been playing DS games on my 3DS. I've been playing Diddy Kong Racing, actually, oddly enough, the DS version, which isn't as good as the N64 version because they had a bunch of touchscreen mechanics that aren't that great, but I still quite enjoyed it. I beat WizPig today, which is actually something I never managed on the N64, and felt like quite an achievement to actually finally finish things.
Yay.
I've been playing. What else have I been playing on the 3DS? I've been playing a game that's basically for kids that I really like, which is Drawn to Life, where you like draw your own character and stuff, and you draw the platforms and enemies in a platform game, as it were. And I'm quite enjoying that as well. I'm going to start on 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, and Virtue's The Last Reward fairly soon as well. I'm going to play through those in order.
Is fucking awesome. Oh, that's so awesome. You said that.
I'm looking forward to them. I've got, to be fair, like I have a lot of DS games now that I have a huge backlog to work through, which is pretty cool because there's so many I missed out on. So I'm looking forward to playing through lots of them. I've been playing Animal Crossing on the DS as well, quite a bit. Just nice, relaxing games. A bit different to what I normally play on the PC, for example. On the PC, I've been playing a lot of The Secret World, which is an MMO, which is like a horror-themed MMO with loads of zombies and Cthulhu and stuff like that. It's very dark and adult, and I don't think I've played a game with more nudity in it, possibly ever. Yeah, it's been pretty good fun. Been playing a bit of Spec Ops: The Line as well on the PC, which is a fairly generic like third-person war shooter, but with really horrific, disturbing, awful decisions you have to make at the end of every chapter, and it kind of sets itself up. I've never played a game that's been so grim. You know, it's like very much like, yeah, war, awesome, shoot the people, that sort of thing. And this is sort of like, this is really fucking shit, and everyone's gonna die, probably of napalm burns and that sort of thing. And I quite like it. It's nice and bleak.
Yay!
That's what I've been playing.
Awesome.
Well, fantastic. That was good. That was a real good video game circle jerk, or in the case of the MangaMinx, the video game clam jam. And we thank you for joining us here for halftime. And, you know, that was a pretty good assortment of games, I think. And if you've never heard any of those games, seek it out. Find them. You'll enjoy them. And if you forgot what they are, well, then rewind the podcast and pick it up again. Great games. And now it's time for the second half. We've already talked about the PlayStation conference, and now we have to talk about, of course, the other one that's been looming on the horizon, the Valentine's Day Nintendo Direct. And this is the rundown from said event. Big Nintendo Direct this last time here on Valentine's Day, where they announced the Year of Luigi. And I'm very excited about this with the games coming out. Alpha Omega Sin, you also being a fellow Nintendo fan, how do you feel about the information that came from the Nintendo Direct?
Let's see. I'm not sure, to be honest. I kind of forgot everything that happened at Nintendo Direct.
Well, there was the announcement of Luigi's Mansion 2, a little more information there. The announcement of a game
I
that
already
no
know
one
about
was
that.
really expecting, Mario and Luigi Dream Team. Did you see that one?
That I actually completely forgot about. And that is kind of exciting because I always put it in the realm of like the Paper Mario kind of world in a way, because it's like a little action adventure RPG. But yeah, the Mario and Luigi games are always really awesome, and the fact that they're still continuing with them, because I didn't think that they would, to be honest. I thought everybody was just kind of like, I'm over it.
Yeah, neither. I
So,
thought they were all just going to put all their eggs in the Paper Mario basket. That's what I thought.
well, yeah, that's the impression I was under. But no, I'm actually happy that they're going to be continuing with that.
I think it's quite exciting. And then, the announcement of a few games that are actually coming to. It was mostly focused on the Nintendo 3DS, I'm not going to lie. And, of course, there was the big talk about what is going on for the Nintendo Wii U, which we talked about, weeks ago. There was the announcement of the localization of Harmonite, which is by Game Freaks, the Pokemon people. And that one looks to be a lot of fun. Did you see anything about that?
I did. I was honestly like, what the fuck is this? They actually let them do some other stuff other than just like their main staple series? You're
Unbelievable,
kidding me.
right?
Holy shit. Wow, they actually let them outside the breeze sometimes. That's amazing. And
Yeah,
the fact
and
that
it's.
we're actually getting it localized is kind of amazing too, to be
Oh,
honest. But I'm assuming that
oh, please go on.
no, I was just saying maybe they're thinking that they're gonna strike gold again.
Maybe they would. I mean, I remember seeing it, and I was kind of disappointed when I first saw any information about it. I think it was back last year when they talked about it a little bit, and I was kind of sad because I'm like, "There's no way this is coming to North America. This is too. This looks too fun. There's no way this is gonna make it." And but sure enough, they brought it, and I was really surprised. And like you said, I was surprised that they were allowed to do anything besides Pokemon. But
Well,
when you
it's
don't
one of
really
those things.
change.
I was expecting them to like announce something like this, and then not for it to be localized, and then you get an entire dream team of fans together that basically fight tooth and nail to get it localized. So luckily, that's not coming to be, and they're just getting it out of the way now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And well, did anybody else watch the Nintendo Direct?
I did.
Not really.
I did. I mean, like, to be fair, I'm a recent Nintendo convert. I hadn't played it in any Nintendo games really since the N64. And I recently picked up a 3DS, and I've been playing loads of DS and 3DS because, like I mentioned earlier. And oh yeah, I was really interested in watching the conference. I'm really looking forward to pretty much everything that was announced. I like the look of. I mean, I want to look at the new Animal Crossings obviously coming out. It's being localized and everything, isn't it? I like the look of the Mario and Luigi Dream Team. To be fair, like stuff that I'm really excited about. I already knew about. I'm really excited about Monster Hunter. I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan, and I'm really looking forward to it coming out on both the Wii U and the 3DS. But yeah, I thought they announced quite a strong lineup. There's quite a few things coming out this year to give people more reasons to own a 3DS,
Well,
and
they
that's good.
the Monster Hunter, the one for Wii U and the 3DS, those players can play together, can't they? I'm pretty sure they said that.
I'm not sure the 3DS version has online multiplayer. I think they only said it had local multiplayer.
Damn it. That would be fucking awesome to see something like that. Just go
To be
like
fair,
completely across the board.
they're not being very clear on that. We'll just say that.
Mm-hmm. There obviously is a Monster Hunter 4 in the works as well, like coming out in Japan very soon anyway, and that apparently is also on the 3DS, and that will have online multiplayer. So.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was also happy that one thing I actually forgot about, but they had the new Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I love Animal Crossing. Nothing happens, but it's great. I don't care. I just love it.
Yeah, Animal Crossing's one of those games. Like it, I mean, if you look at an initial screenshot of it, to be honest, it just looks like a really, really lame game. It does. It does not look all that appealing. It just from seeing a screenshot. But once you play it, it's got this. I mean, it's a simulation game, but when you play it, you get sucked into it big time. And it's absolutely fucking crazy. Whenever I first got to play the very first one on GameCube, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be into this. I'm not going to be into this. Several weeks later, I'm still playing it. and playing it consistently. So I was just like, all right, yeah, I would actually like to jump back right into the fucking saddle and play that again. And isn't there another Mario Donkey Kong game? Mario Donkey Kong Minis or some shit?
Yeah, the March of the Minis, I think it was.
Is it March of Minis? I have no clue, but I never really got to play the other ones, so I might just jump in on this one, considering the fact that it'll be something new for me.
Yeah, I mean, that one looks really neat. The one that really struck me, even though it seems to be a smaller game, is the Kersploosh game, which is going to be a eShop exclusive.
That's one thing that did actually pique my interest.
Yeah, it looks really neat. It's where you essentially control a falling pebble or other, gravitationally inclined item, and follow it on a path down a well, and avoiding obstacles to reach to the bottom of the well in X amount of time. And I remember looking at it and saying, why hasn't anyone thought of this before? It just seems like a really neat premise. Sure, not the most exciting thing on the surface, but I have a feeling it's one of those games that, like Animal Crossing, will just suck you in.
Oh yeah, well, it's those things that are just like, let's just do something really different and see what works. And that's what I like about video games, is just anybody that's willing to like go out of their way and try something completely abstract and fucking obscure, you will instantly get my attention, because that's what I want to try. I don't want the same exact fucking experience over and over and over and over and over and over again all the time. I want to be able to try something new. And yeah, like you said, that definitely looks like it'll be pretty fucking cool.
I think so.
There's also Lego City. They were talking about that, and the Lego City Undercover.
Oh, they did a prequel to the main game, didn't they, on the Wii U?
Yeah, they what the fuck do you call it? Lego City Undercover: The Chase Begins.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, well, to begin with, I'm already interested in Lego City Undercover. Like, I actually like the Lego games a lot, from the Star Wars ones to the DC ones. I just think that they're a whole ton of fun. Especially Lego Batman 2, DC Heroes. That one is just fucking amazing. It's basically like Grand Theft Auto meets Legos meets Batman. And it's a lot of fun. And seeing, the Lego City game on Wii U, I was like, dude, that looks like it could be a whole ton of fun. But you'd see something like that regularly and just be like, oh yeah, that's actually meant for kids. But if you play them, they're honestly something anybody could go and pick up and enjoy the living shit out of. So that's something I'm going to end up keeping my eye on as The Chase Begins.
See, that's the thing. The Lego games simply do not grab me. I don't know what it is, but something about them just... the aesthetic of it just turns me off for some reason. That was the one title, or the two titles rather, that I was just not intrigued by.
I bet you had Kinects when you were growing up.
No, we had Legos. We did, honest to goodness. We had Kinects too, but they didn't last very long.
No, Kinects demanded to be broken.
Yeah. We also got beat with the Hot Wheel tracks, if that is any consolation.
No, the Hot Wheel tracks were just fucking weapons to hit your sister with.
Oh, absolutely. I never had a sister, but if I had a sister, I would have beat the shit out of her with the Hot Wheel tracks. Or he'll just
find somebody else's sister and start whipping her with them.
Yeah, but then you might end up dating her.
Well, that's how all good relationships start. You just start whipping people with Hot Wheel tracks, and all of a sudden you're rolling it around in a sack. It happens.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean
that's how relationships are forged.
Yeah.
So, Nintendo Direct. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was great. It did not involve the beating of asses with Hot Wheel tracks.
Yeah, so, I mean, truth be told, this Nintendo Direct, it wasn't as exciting as the last one, but the fact that they're just getting more games out there, I don't give a fuck. So long as you're just telling me that more stuff is going to be arriving, I'm a happy camper. So long as this isn't shit that I've already heard 1,000 times over is going to be showing up, then fucking cool beaners. There you go.
Yeah, you know what I must say, I'm thoroughly excited for Luigi's Mansion 2.
Yeah, me
too. But I didn't know. Now, there's some other people here who might be interested. What are your thoughts on the inclusion of multiplayer on Luigi's Mansion 2?
If it's anything like on the Wii U, I honestly would like to see them build off of that as like a basic foundation, because it was pretty fun. if they go with an idea like that. I honestly enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, because at first I didn't play it because I was doing all the single player games and that was it. But once I jumped into multiplayer and played that on the Wii U and Nintendo Land, it was a lot of fun, and I like Luigi's Mansion a lot. Like the first one is an amazing game, and whenever they first announced the 3DS, they announced, Luigi's Mansion is going to be coming out at a later date. So that was like a main selling point to me was, oh, another Luigi's Mansion. That's fucking awesome. And Luigi deserves more love, frankly. So, yeah. But yes, multiplayer. Awesome. Sorry, I kind of sidetracked myself there. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to know you're so excited about it and have so much to say.
Mm-hmm. MangaMinx.
Yes.
Multiplayer. Luigi's Mansion. How do you feel?
I must admit, I don't know enough about how the multiplayer was handled on the Wii U to really comment. I mean, I guess the addition of multiplayer is a nice thing. It's probably something I will be taking advantage of because I don't play a lot of multiplayer games. But yeah, I mean, always a welcome addition, something extra. I don't see any negativity to it.
There you go. Nothing wrong with a little extra content, right?
Exactly.
Well, Mr. Chaos, how do you feel about the multiplayer aspect of it?
I probably won't even fucking use it.
There you go. That's
it's like, if I really liked people all that much, would I play video games? Probably not.
See, and that's why we're the Hate Bit Podcast. We're a bunch of antisocial fucking people, and multiplayer should only be enjoyed when you're sitting next to somebody, because you can reach over, take the controller, rip it from their hands, and shove it in any random orifice of your choosing, depending on how bad they were at what they just did.
Well, and also depending on how big they are relative to your size.
That doesn't matter if you're fast.
That's true. That's true. Speed will make up for
hit really hard where it hurts and just get the fuck out of there.
So, but all in all, I thought it was a very positive showing for the Nintendo Direct, and much shorter. They had enough material to cover what they did. They didn't string it on for 2.5 goddamn hours.
I'm glad they didn't string it on for 2.5 fucking hours.
One thing I have to say. This just in. This handed to me by MangaMinx. Apparently, post the just after the PlayStation conference here, Sony stock prices have plummeted inside the last half hour. Now, this will probably be old news by the time you hear it.
Seriously.
Absolutely. I'm looking at stocks.finance.yahoo.co.jp, and the stock has plummeted in the last half hour.
Nice.
Oops.
I blame David Cage.
Okay, and hold on, and for anybody out there right now, I just want to say this. For anybody out there, it's just like, oh yeah, you guys are being negative for no reason. We're not the only ones who are being negative. The people with the money were also like, yeah, we're not seeing it. All right, later.
Yeah, well, we're going to go. We'll even provide you a link down in the box down below. You can check it out for yourself. Anyway, that's enough depression for one evening. That's going to do it for this week's Hate Bit Podcast. We thank you for joining us. Joining me, as always, Alpha Omega Sin.
I'm currently eating goldfish flavor blasted Slayman sour cream and onion crackers. They're not bad. Have a good night, fuckers.
The seductive MangaMinx.
Bulimia is fun, kids.
And the goddamn Sainted Magnus.
The goddamn Sainted Magnus. What can I say? Sony, grow up. Nintendo, grow up. Xbox, where the fuck have you gone? That's it.
I think I smell another flip-flop. Anyway, I've been Young Chaos. You guys have been great, and we have been the Hate Bit Podcast. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.